Hi, how are you? My name is Cynthia Diaz, and I am a student at Tennessee State University where I am studying social work, um, focusing on micro social work. Um, because eventually, after graduation, I plan to become a school social worker. Um, I've always had a knack for working with families and a love for children. Being a former educator, um, I always knew that I wanted to go into counseling because I found myself giving my students a lot of therapy, if you would say. I think school social work is essential because it helps to ensure that every student can fully assess their education, regardless of the social, emotional, um, and or environmental challenges that they may face on a daily basis. And so, like I said, as a former educator, I found myself seeing those things, and I knew that I wanted to do more rather than just teach content. I wanted to be hands on and play a critical role in creating a safe and supportive and equitable learning environment um, for children. Currently, I am a family advocate, so I did completely change my career path, um, and I do feel like it is a calling. Um, I feel like as a school social worker, I really want to hone in on supporting student mental health. It doesn't get talked about a lot. I think a lot of times we always focusing on testing, and focusing on heavy on the student academics more so than worrying about how is the student coping mentally. And I feel that school social workers are trained to identify and respond to certain mental health concerns such as anxiety, depression, trauma, and behavioral challenges. And I feel that if those concerns are or needs are not met, it is hard. It is difficult for a child to perform well academically. Um, so, with that being said, I believe that early intervention helps prevent certain crises. It improves emotional well being for a child and promotes, like I said again, academic success. Yeah. So with that being said, I want to talk about the policy that a partner and I studied, did some research um, on the shortage of school social workers in the state of Tennessee. My partner was Miss Charisma Beatty, and I want to say that she is a great classmate, a great peer colleague. We worked hand in hand on this, excuse me, on this assignment. Though it was a bit challenging with our schedules, we did come together collectively to pull this off because she herself also wants to go into school social work as well. I believe even her one of her internships, her practicum, she's doing that under a school social work with Metro Nashville Public Schools. So why how and why we designed the strategy the way we did. So our overall approach was shaped by the goal of influencing both public understanding and legislative action regarding Tennessee's shortage of school social workers. And I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. On one of the roles that I played, I did write a letter to legislator Harold Love regarding the shortage of school social workers. So we going back, we intentionally combined community level awareness effects with direct legislative advocacy because policy change requires both constituent support and lawmaker engagement. And though this is not discussed, I think I think it'll be a great policy to create and to focus on because like I said, a child's mental health is important. And if we're so focused heavy as a state and as a city or as a school district on the academic success of a child, we have to do the work to get them there. And it doesn't just happen magically because children are dealing with a lot. They're dealing with a lot in this society. Excuse me. So the strategy includes multiple outreach methods like forums, social media, heavy on social media, email templates, coalition building, to ensure that the message reaches diverse groups and is accessible to people with very levels of knowledge about the policy. Um, it is stated in the letter that a grant should be created, wrote to try to create some kind of partnership with schools like Tennessee State University, um, Trevecca, um, schools throughout Tennessee, for those individuals that would like to pursue a career in school social work, so that way they can have better opportunities getting certain internships, um, to be a part of uh, of that field, to do what they love and what they enjoy. So, with that being said, for instance, TSU, MNPS, Metro Nashville Public Schools, School Social Work Scholarship Pipeline, my lovely classmates, she kind of created this idea that if we plan to advocate for the development of a TSU and the Metro Nashville Public School District scholarship pipeline, it can design to expand and diversify the school social work workplace in Nashville and across the state of Tennessee. So this long-term substantial pathway would include full tuition coverage for MSW students committed to working in MNPS, paid school-based field placements, internships to reduce financial barriers and improve hands-on training. Also, licensure preparation and support, ensuring that graduates can transition smoothly into practice. Because in order to become a school social work in Nashville with Metro Nashville Public Schools, you have to you have to pass that test. You have to be a licensed school social worker. And guaranteed employment in MNPS for a designated service period right after graduation. Because like I said, there is a huge shortage, and we're seeing the weight being passed on to the counselors and the teachers and so on and so forth. So it's only so much that they can do. The how and why. we targeted our communication messages, like I said. um we pretty much simplify, excuse me, the language, and focus on the specific amendment we are proposing. This ensures that community members can advocate with confidence. So different multiple platforms like social media messaging was targeted toward younger audiences like myself, and community advocates to build momentum and shareable content. Um, a letter to legislator Harold Love, for instance. Um, pretty much, um, I really feel that as a community, um, and as a future school social worker, um, coming together to do what is best for children, and to do what's best for children and understand the why and the outcomes, um, is imperative to know that students' academic success, of course, is important, but their mental health overall is a priority. Um, so, in short, school social work um, is important because students cannot learn effectively when their social, emotional, and basic needs are unmet. And I really feel that school social workers help remove those barriers, um, by ensuring that all students, no matter their race, their creed, no matter who they are, where they come from, regardless of their background and circumstances, that they have the opportunity to succeed.